commitment to quality care and to family-centered care, involvement of families in the care of their children. Not just involvement, but embracing families as equal partners in the care of their children. She, of course, is a wonderful mother, which I have no direct experience with, but knowing what her three beautiful daughters are like, I clearly cannot attribute all that to Joe. So by process of deduction, I sort of assume that she's an absolutely fabulous mother. Kara is here. Oh, there you are. And while I'm thinking of it, you got your brother's here as well?
My brother Jim is here. My sister Cindy.
Sister Cindy.
Sister Trish.
Sister Trish, where are okay.
Kay, my best friend.
Kay, your best friend.
Bummer's here.
And many of my old patients.
Don't forget your husband. Speaking as a husband, and who I've already harassed like several times. But I wouldn't do it if I didn't love Joe. And also, I know that he'll get his turn. But she's been a great mom. She clearly, I also haven't experienced this directly, but she clearly has been a fabulous wife. And Joe can't wait to get her back home with him full-time and her family and friends. She's been a wonderful friend to many in this room and to many throughout our community. She's really a remarkable woman, and we've been proud to call her part of our team and have nothing but best wishes for her future, which I know there are really more wonderful things ahead for her. Jan is a little on the clumsy side. And the only reason they laugh, Jan, of course, is because they know it's true. She tends to injure herself a lot, including here at the hospital. She tends to knock over cups frequently. She has probably purchased 2,000 pairs of glasses in her short life because she loses them all the time. And it reminded me of a saying that came from Albert Einstein, who said that life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. So, Jan, I'm really hopeful that you'll do a better job of keeping your balance in the future in more ways than one. I do want to sincerely, even though I've given them a really hard time, thank Joe and the rest of the families, daughters in particular, for sharing Jan with us for so many years. We know the sacrifices that meant for you all, and we are very, very grateful for it and never took it for granted, even though it often appeared like we did. Jackie Robinson, the great Negro Baseball League player and Major League player, said that a life is not important except in the impact it has on other lives. And clearly, as evidenced by what we see in this room, Jan has had a tremendous impact on many, many people's lives. And so, with what will be the first of many gifts, I am sure, we have a small token of appreciation, Jan, from the Vice President team, your peers. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. We want you to open it now. Maybe you should open it.
Right, how careful do I have? They're always worried about the easy award.
Please be very careful. But we heard that you wanted one of these.
Oh my God. Uh-oh, yeah.
Here's an iPad. Yes.
Wow. Wow. There you go. There you go.
I know it's...
Want one of those, won't be able to afford it in retirement.
I know it's an absolute shock to you, Jan, but we actually listened to what you said. But what you didn't tell us was the engraving on it, which you can. Okay, so much for the grand finale. But we have a special engraving on it just for you. And when we finish that, then we'll call Dr. Sarnike forward. As I think probably everybody in this room knows, this is our 125th birthday for Children's Hospital. And right after the parade on Thursday, we have a special entitled 125 Years, Always There, Just for Them. And so we thought it appropriate that we engrave this iPad to Jan Cottrell, just for them, now just for you.
We're here.
These are really impromptu comments. I don't have a prepared speech. But I'm so afraid of Jan. I don't know why that. I didn't expect it. But anyway, I was supposed to be still in South Carolina on a meeting, and when Jan heard that I might miss this, she said, "Shok, you better get there. I'll never talk to you again." That was enough. But really, in all sincerity, how do you define a successful and popular person? You define that person as everyone claims her to be their own. And today we see that nursing claims Jan to be their own. ICU claims Jan to be as ours. Pediatrics does. Surgery does. Patients and families do. Security people and chaplaincy, they all claim Jan to be their own. And I believe that is the measure of success and the impact that Jan has had on this institution. And personally, I have benefited tremendously with her friendship and advice and collaboration on many projects, starting right at the bedside, taking care of patients with continuous renal replacement therapy, to the boardrooms, looking at various search committees, to arm in arm, looking at the clinical problems faced in this institution and forming a clinical excellence committee. There are many projects that we have done together, and I will forever be grateful for all the friendship and great professional excellence that Jan has provided to us. Thank you, Jan.
You're here. You're here.
And on behalf of all of us, all the people that I mentioned. So while you are enjoying this, you can send email on iPad.
That was beautiful, wasn't it, Joe? Very nice.
Hello, Jan. Dr. Sarnike, you were not the only one she threatened. She threatened me, too. She told me, you better say something, Miss Ray. You must say something. So, Jan, I thank you for all the long conversations we had in your office and for your mentoring and everything you did for me during the school and work program. I kept my word. I have received a degree from Schoolcraft College, which you overslept. And you overslept. Oh, Miss Ray, I fell asleep. I was ready, but I fell asleep. I still love you. I'm pursuing another degree now. I don't miss you very much. Thank you.
I think that's it. Okay, so we have the managers. The top 10 reasons why children will not be the same without Jan. In the spirit of David Letterman. Reason number 10. No longer will we hear the clickety-clack of little Jan feet coming down the hallway.
Number 9. Laundry and dry cleaning bills will be greatly reduced secondary to fewer coffee spills.
Number 8. Hospital liability rates for employee slips and falls will be reduced effective November 22nd.
Number 7, every meeting will be a half hour shorter. The scenery around here will be just a little less beautiful.
Number 5, the hospital will now be contracting out services to multiple individuals to assist with personal and professional counseling to fill the void of Jan's retirement.
Number 4, email box storage space will dramatically increase.
Number 3, all available blank space will have to be wallpapered with inspirational posters to make up for our missing daily affirmation from Jan.
Number 2, every nurse will now recite a daily positive mantra like, be flexible and adaptable, to compensate for our loss of Jan's activism.
And the number 1 reason Children's Hospital won't be the same is no longer will we hear her voice echoing through the halls, reminding us to seek first to understand and then to be understood. We love you, Jan.
Let's go back to the 1970s. It was a time of leisure suits, pet rocks, earth shoes, and everyone caught a fever on Saturday nights. Also in the 70s, a perky young thing by the name of Janice Pollock bounced into Children's Hospital of Michigan to begin a lifetime of doing things she was born to do. Nurture, teach, heal, and give. Even during those early years, Jan gave everything she had to nursing. She worked hard, and she quickly developed a reputation as one who could be relied upon for knowledge, compassion, and support. Interestingly enough, she also thought of herself as a leader of fashion during those polyester bell-bottom times. One workday, our young Jan did something interesting with her hair. She somehow came upon the notion that it would be stylish to arrange it in a pair of bouncy, rubber-banded tufts in a manner suggestive of a spoiled Shih Tzu. Jan dubbed her creation dual ponytails, apparently unaware of the already discovered hairstyle known as pigtails. It was also on this day, coincidentally, that Jan raised the hemline on her sassy little white skirt. So when Jan was mysteriously summoned to the nursing administration office, she figured the jig was up. Someone had complained. She was short-skirted, busted. With a heart full of fear, a skirt up to here, Jan shuffled in to face the music. As it turns out, though, it was not her skirt that was found to be inappropriate. It was a pair of bouncy spindles of hair atop her head that were deemed unprofessional. It was okay to show thighs, she learned. It was not okay to display goofy hair stalks protruding from her scalp. The dual ponytails had offended. They had to go. We're done, Jan learned something that day. She was certain she was going to get called out on her short skirt, but the reality was quite different. Lacking information, she made an assumption based on a one-sided perception that, as it turned out, was completely incorrect. Knowing Jan, she mined this experience for lessons and applied them toward her own personal and professional growth. Unfortunately, she never did learn that dual ponytails are, in fact, simply pigtails. The 1980s brought us Swatch watches, Teddy Ruxpin, and dancing that was dirty. Punk music offended parents. The first artificial heart transplant was performed, and a prince married a princess on global television. In hospitals, nurses still wore mostly white uniforms. Some old school types even retained their traditional dresses and nursing caps. Jan did not like nursing caps. Something offended her about all that white cardboard, hiding her gorgeous, flowing ebony hair. Again with the hair. Jan believed that folks had a right to enjoy her hair and that her hair had a right to be enjoyed. Jan believed that a mandatory cap-wearing policy deprived everyone she came in contact with and her hair of these rights. You heard me, Jan felt her hair had rights. There was a popular movie in the early 1980s called Norma Ray. The film, which was based on a true story, stars Sally Field as a low-paid laborer in a textile factory in North Carolina. Norma Ray, fed up with low wages and intolerable working conditions, decided to form a union in her shop. During a key scene, while the factory is visited by management types, Norma Ray wrote the word union on a piece of cardboard. She then stands defiantly, holding her sign aloft, and slowly turns so that everyone on the factory floor can read her message. One by one, the workers shut down their machines in solidarity until there's only silence. It's a very powerful scene. It appears that Jan may have seen this movie. Around that same time, in an effort to abolish the mandatory cap-wearing policy of Children's Hospital, Jan convinced herself that unionizing the nursing staff was an appropriate strategy to get this accomplished. Legend has it that Jan scrawled the word union on a bedpan and walked up and down the hallway, turning the pan so all could read her message. One by one, it is said, the nurses stopped pumping their blood pressure cuffs. They halted their charting. They laid down their enema kits. The hospital stood quiet. That is until someone eventually said, "Hey Jan, that's a pretty dumb idea." The practice of nurses wearing caps faded, as did Norma Jan's brief flash of rebellion. In both cases, it was for the better. Into the 1990s, Bill Clinton became the first Democrat since FDR to be reelected. Mike Tyson chomped on an ear, and we all danced to the Macarena. Well, maybe you all did. Well, maybe during this time, Jan focused her energy and her talents on making everyone in PICU a more competent caregiver. When she became their nurse educator, Jan fell into a role for which she was born. If caring is Jan's #1 calling, teaching cannot be far behind. To this day, Jan loves to teach, and she loves it for all the right reasons. You're familiar with the phrase, knowledge is power. When this expression is invoked, the speaker typically refers to his or her own attainment of prestige or privilege. From Jan's perspective, any power gained from knowledge is not something to use selfishly, but something to convey onto others. Jan does not hoard knowledge. She passes it around, freely and willfully, so that others may benefit. She gives of herself. In 1998, after excelling in her nurse educator position for 8 years, Jan accepted the assignment as manager of 5 West. She didn't know it yet, but she was the new sheriff on the Wild Wild West. In accepting this position, Jan quickly learned that she was stepping into a big pile of poop. The people of 5 West were good people, but they had been without leadership and direction for so long that it came to seem normal. Plus, there were 2 5 Wests. There was 5 Northwest and 5 Southwest, and each group instinctively regarded the other with suspicion and distrust. There was virtually no interaction between the 2 groups. You couldn't walk into the other unit's treatment room for an alcohol swab without getting the stink eye from the others. The 5 West turf wars of the 90s made inner city street gangs looked like toddlers fighting over So Jan set out to change that. So Jan arrived at 5 West with a map, a GPS, and a giant eraser. The map was to show us where we were going, the GPS to show us how we would get there, and the eraser to eliminate the Mason-Dixon line that separated north from south. This was no small task, uniting 2 units into one. There was initial resistance, eventual acceptance, and ultimately an acknowledgement that what Jan had accomplished was not only necessary and meaningful, but heroic. The Wild West, and a good part of CHM, is what it is today because of Jan Cottrell.
Here, here, here.
I know you want me to be done, but I'm not. This brings us to our current version of Jan, whom we will refer to as Millennium Jan, or MJ. MJ, by anyone's definition, is a success. She has arrived at a position of influence and respect, and she has attained this level in an honorable manner. Not that she is a robotically perfect human being. MJ has a clumsy side to her that is as endearing as it is amusing. Even though she now sits in a fancier chair, she is at continual risk for falling out of that chair. MJ still displays the occasional run in her stocking. She's not yet mastered how to keep her eyeglasses in one piece. And at times she seems as graceful and sure-footed as a newborn calf walking over a field of Vaseline.
Oh, that's good. Like it. Like it.
That was MJ. But Jan is everything a nurse administrator should be. She has never lost her ability or her desire to nurture, to support, and to help others realize their potential. Jan has encouraged and supported countless others to achieve their goals, whether it's a promotion, a professional designation, or a diploma. As she instinctively provides just the right amount of support. Jan will not hoist you over her shoulder and carry you up the ladder, but she will bring you the ladder. She'll hold it steady during your ascent, and she'll holler at your backside as you climb. And when you reach the top of your ladder, Jan will be the one cheering the loudest. Not done. Don't make me come down there. Jan values every single employee and places a strong emphasis on teamwork and shared decision making. Communication, Jan will tell you, is the key to building a successful team. Without effective communication, the end result is not a realized goal, but conflict, poor outcomes, and wasted energy. Jan has a favorite expression: seek first to understand, then to be understood. It's from the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. Jan understands that listening is the most vital part of communication, and that active, attentive listening establishes an atmosphere of respect and compassion. Anyone who has ever had a conversation with Jan knows that, as you're speaking with her, you can actually see her listening. Not because she knows that that's what a good manager does, but because she truly cares about what you're saying. Jan continues to embrace and work toward the vision that young Janice Pollock first started to articulate 4 decades earlier. To strive to care for our patients and families, to strive to care for each other. Jan has been a true leader, and it is an honor to have been led by her. Millennium Jan will soon become Retirement Jan. Retirement Jan. Those 2 words don't even go together.
No.
But really they do, because no one has ever earned the gratitude of her patients, the admiration of her colleagues, and the rewards of retirement more than Jan Cottrell.
Short. You in the back. Real short. It's all good. I got a mic. Yeah, I don't need a mic. I'm a school teacher.
This is so impressive. All of you here certainly is. They didn't ask me to speak, but Jan said they might ask you. Well, they didn't, but I'm still going to. Jan has had a 40-year relationship with Children's Hospital, and I've had a 43-year relationship with Jan. How to put into perspective into this relationship, when I thought about this, I said, how am I going to put this in perspective? Driving down I-94, entering I-75, I noticed the old Goodyear billboard.
Yeah.
It now boasts DMC's newest marketing slogan, and the sign features Children's Hospital. It was as if that billboard was written with Jan in mind. You know the hook. Always there.
Security.
In the raising of our three daughters, Kara, Kristen, Casey, Jan has been always there, with guidance, support, love, and understanding, and proofreading. Speaking of proof, the proof is in the pudding, because our girls mirror her moral code and work ethic.
Hear, hear.
Jan's sister and brother, Cindy and Jim, her sister-in-law, Tricia, her best friend, Kay Scrivo, all sitting over there by the door. They can attest to her commitment to family and friendship. When crises arise or advice is needed, or even when good food is to be cooked or wine drank, Jan is always there. For the staff of Children's Hospital, not just the present company here, but for the thousands who preceded you, no matter what their job title, status, or personality type, no matter if the request was advice, time, donation, technical info, or simply a shoulder to rely on, Jan has been always there. But foremost, for the mission of Children's and the 40-year focus of Jan's talents for the kids and their families, Jan has been always there. I've felt the love Children's has for Jan. I've read the notes, and emails, listened to the testimonials, and witnessed the magic of these 40 short years. The love in this room is overwhelming. But no matter how much you love Jan, I love her more.
I love it.
Jan, my love for you is and forever will be always there.
Wow.
So anybody dumb enough that wants to follow that?
No. I'm in a non-cognitive specialty. I'd like to just say a few words from surgeons, and everything else that needs to be said about Jan has been said. I think the important thing is at leadership conferences we're always told that it's important to internalize institutional goals so that you can move forward and think the way that progress is going to be made. And Jan does that, but she does something that's really more important. She's able to internalize the goals of the people who look up to her. And here I just have to give credit to the staff nurse who doesn't make a schedule, is not on a committee, and only goes to work every day to provide the hands-on care that makes everything possible. And I really think that it's Jan's ability to internalize those goals and promote those nurses that we're going to have to study very hard to see how we're going to be able to do it in the future.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Dr. Angelilli.
I'm another one who wasn't asked to speak.
I love it. Bring it on.
And I don't like to do this particularly, and I can't follow Joe, but I've been here in a variety of capacities since 1977. And I didn't really know Jan, but I couldn't have said it any better than Joe did. She was one of those people that was always there. I knew she was there. I didn't really know her, and she progressed in various capacities, as I guess I did too. And so 5 years ago, when I came into the administration realm, Jan was there. I would have said that anyway. Jan was there. And that's when I really started to get to know Jan, and you know, her leadership, and really what I loved, Jan, is your integrity. That has always been very important and touched me to be able to trust somebody that much. And I'm, again, not talking about personal issues, but in the way that she values the hospital, and in all these rules and surveys and regulations and everything. Jan always reminds us how it affects the safety and the health of the children. And so that's the thing that I value, Jan. The other thing is, I learned from Terry Paler that Jan and I are both eyes, and the eyes are the ones that are known to chit-chat in the hallway. So I feel a bond with Jan in that. I also told Jan many times in the last few months that I'm not going to say goodbye, because for me, I know this is not going to be goodbye. And I don't usually use quotes, but I found one a couple weeks ago that I thought would be perfect for Jan. And you might have to read it if I start crying. This is Ralph Waldo Emerson. And it says, "To laugh often and much, to win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children, to earn the appreciation of honest critics, and to endure the betrayal of false friends, to appreciate beauty, to find the best in others, to leave the world a bit better, whether by a healthy child or a redeemed social condition, to know that even one life has breathed easier because you have lived. This is to have succeeded." Thank you.
Here, here. Here, here. Yeah.
I am not making a speech. I just want to thank everybody who worked on this. John wrote that entire thing himself, so it was wonderful. I want to thank Kristen Claypool, Anthony out there, wherever she is. She brought in all the flowers and arranged for the photo booth, and thank you, Dr. Gray. We want to thank Caroline and Mary and Carolyn Clemens and Bev Kreider for the video. And everybody, please go use the photo booth. We're making a really nice scrapbook for Jan, so I just want to make sure that everybody does that, okay? Oh, and there's a picture over here that everybody needs to sign. And enjoy the food.
Okay, I'm really overwhelmed and quite touched, and thank you for the last request I made of all of you to show up here today. It was my last directive. I did not want to be in this room alone, so I very much appreciate you all being here. In Ashok, I was a little bratty with you, but I don't care.
I wouldn't expect anything else.
So many nice things have been said, and I truly value what you have had to say, but I'm going to say this. The reason this place is how it is because of all of you. You are the ones who are here and make a difference each and every day at the bedside. You are out there doing the hard work of taking care of patients and families and their staff. And you can have a leader doing or saying whatever. It is not about that. It is about all you and all your compassion and care and dedication to this hospital. My microphone is off.
Klutzy Jan.
Klutzy Jan. It might have died. Oh no, it didn't. It's back. But don't underestimate the work you do. You're the ones who make. I did not touch any. No one had problems with me, though, right? So the president of the hospital will have to hold the microphone.
I'll hold it. Don't touch it.
That's basically what I wanted to say.
Yeah, Jan!
Your love for this hospital and your love and care for each other. That's what it's about. Patients, families, staff. Right?
Here, here.